So since the last class, I updated bunch of commands here. Let's see here. Let me go back. Okay, so in the user administration, we went through all this in the class here. There's other creating groups. So creating groups, these are the commands you use. Go ahead and go through this. And then changing the ownership of the file and folder, you see a own command. So I went through all this and then put it in here. So go over this on your own. Okay, and there is also a change group command. And this is how you use it, change group, and then change it to accounting. Add a group, you could simply add a group also. Do any modification to the user, you do user mod command. And to add a user, user add. And I think to delete a user, delete user del. Let's see here. So the user Zafar is created here using user add. And looks like the directories and all those are created here. Give me 1 second here, hold on. Okay, so you could go into home and you do lsfnl. You see even the home directory is created there. And then to delete a user, you simply use user del -r and then username. Okay, and then what it does is it will take out all the attributes, and then it will also delete the directory which is associated with the user. Let's see in cat etc password. So it's gone from the cat etc password also. Okay. Other than that, it's all good here. You should be able to do this. Insert below.
Didn't we need to kill any, if there's any job running under the user, etc., deleting any user?
Oh yeah, yeah. You have to.
Like kill.
Yeah. Usually you don't get request for that to do it. I never really do it. I get requests to create it, but in reality, Users are managed from Active Directory or LDAP, but these are the things you do it on the server level. Okay, so that's with the user administration and permissions. They go in hand, okay? They are dependent on each other. So permissions are usually granted to the users and files and folders. Okay, so, and for the permissions, folder assignment to the group. Okay, we looked at a set GID, set UID. Okay, and sticky bit. We talk about sticky bit, right? The example for sticky bit is a temporary folder. The directory has a sticky bit set. In that directory, only the owner of the file and root can delete the files. And a file control list, what this is you could give permission, a file could, but you could give a specific permission to each file. So for example, could be granted a permission to that file regardless where the file is sitting. So if the file is sitting in a specific group or a specific folder, and folder has some permission, but the file could have a different permission. So that's when FACL comes in, FACL, File Access Control List. Okay, go through this a little bit and you would get good understanding here. And I have a good breakdown here of how the permissions work. User is represented with U. User is also owner and user is owner of the file, and then group is the group represented with G, and other is represented with O, and all is represented with A. All three are represented with letter A. Okay, and read stands, read is a permission represented with R, and it has a numeric value 4. Write is W, 2. X is execute, 1. And then to take actions, these are the actions. Plus to add the permission, minus to remove the permission, and equal make it only permission. Okay, so these are the breakdowns here. You could try it out how the permission work. If you are doing the permission G plus W, this is just an example. It adds a write access to the group. Okay, O minus read write access, read write execute, it removes all permission to others. So these are just a brief idea here, but you could get creative with this. And these are the generally used numbers here and the permissions. So So you have to go down to this level here, 600. What does 6 means, what does 0 means, and all this. You have to go in combination with these numbers here, okay? If it has a 6, that means group is read and write. It doesn't have execute permission here. But if it says 0600, that means group is 0 and others is 0. So these are commonly used numbers here. This is the default, if you remember from the very first class of the user administration, 644. Usually it's default and the UMask is 22. Did I talk about UMask?
Yeah, yes, we did.
Okay. And then I put down the chmod commands here because it goes hand in hand with permissions. Sudo access. Okay, and then we worked on the recovering the root password. And I think we even started NFS. Yeah, so we started NFS server here. So we went through so many steps here. I recommend to start an NFS server, set it up on a new box. That way you don't have any other services which could be interrupting in here, okay? So that you get a better understanding. Okay, so let's move forward. So we installed the NFS utilities and we enabled the NFS servers. And since last time, let's see if I have, okay. So what does enable does is when the system restarts, it starts at the same time. If this is set to disable, even the service you have started at the moment, the service will continue on unless you start the computer. Once you have restarted the system, if the service is not enabled, that means it is not going to start when the system automatically restarts. But you don't really have to worry too much because systems, you just don't restart the system on the snap. Any system, even it's a production, development or test, you usually have to check with the application team before you do that. So let's see here. So it's active, exited. Disabled. Okay, if you have run all this here, you should be, you are good here. So let me just go ahead and run this one more time. Okay. So it says loaded and it's active, so I'm not worried about it. Then you go in and create a dedicated file share. And this is what you do. And then you etc default, you create this directory. Did we create this directory? No, this default directory is created when you install this little application here, okay? You go in there and then you create a file name NFS share. Okay, let's have an L. So we created a file name NFS shared. Okay, the file is there, and then add the following line. So we added that line there. Okay, and create another file name, this here, ID mapd.conf. So if it's a .conf, that means it's a configuration file. Okay, so, and then this is what I type here, domain equals zmptnfs.zmpt.com. Okay, so, okay, yeah, I think I'm going to change the name here. So you go ahead and change your name also, whatever you have, set it up. Okay, and I think I may have to go into this file here. Okay, save and exit. Now change the permissions for the NFS share. I just put it in the root directory. You could put it in anywhere, right? And the permission, I gave it a full permission, read, write, execute. So anybody could go in there and read and write and execute, okay? All right, so let's move forward.
First of all, you said you gave full permission, which we can see on the screen, but how did you do that? Where did you do that?
This command here, chmod
Okay, 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 okay,
777,
okay, 7, okay,
and then the permission.
okay.
Okay, and so, and then let's go into our directory, cd. So remember this exports directory from, we talked about this directory, right? Let's see here. I think in Samba, there is a directory exports. It's a built-in directory that helps with the network file system here. So, okay, you guys should be downloading this and keeping all these notes here, okay? Once the class is over, all this will be gone for the new class. Or you know what, actually, I'll make a, class is done, I'll make it a big zip file and then give it to you guys. You could download it. I thought we used exports file in here, didn't we?
I don't think so, Zafar.
No?
No. I mean, this is the first time I saw that file.
So we use SMB file, not the exports. Okay. Anyway. So we have the exports file here. So let me for now the file is blank. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to put the share name /ns share. Okay, and the IP address of this box here. 56.124. 19 192.168.56.124. Okay, so you have to give the IP address for this box here. You do IPADDR 2.168.56.124. Okay, and now let me restart the services. NFS. Okay, so it's there, but let me go ahead and restart it. Okay. So you enter this line. Okay, now go ahead and restart the service.
There's a typo in the third line on the nodes. vi id map d.conf.
Right here, yeah, thank you. Cool. Okay, so okay. Copying NFS server. Okay, now there is a special command called show mount -e localhost. Okay, so once you run this command, it's working here. Show mount Okay, so we'll go into show mount account a little bit more, little bit, but for now, this is good. Okay, so we are done with the server setup here. Now what we need to do is we need to find a box and mount this NFS share into that. So let me pick this one here, user administration. Okay, 192.168.56.124. Okay, so let me see. Okay, I think I need to install the utils again. Okay, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna run this again. Yum install nfs utils -y. Okay, so let's run that command here. Oh shoot, I ran this on a wrong system. Okay, no wonder it says already installed. Okay, make sure you're running this on the client this time.
So what if the client is not Linux?
Um,
Because
you
I'm
could
assuming that it can
map it.
be.
You could, we'll try to map it here. I never tried it, but that's a very good question. Once I'm done with this, we could try it on the Windows. You asked me about Windows side, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
And my assumption is that it should already be there with the default window install setup.
Okay. From the client side, maybe NFS is already installed in Windows. Is that right?
Yeah, yeah. That's what my feeling is basically.
But since we have a Samba, why do we need NF?
No, Samba is more for Samba is usually used between the Windows and Linux boxes.
Okay, so you can share Linux to Linux, right?
You could definitely share it. You could definitely, but there is designed more towards the uh, between Linux and Windows here. That's a very good question. Who's that, Amir?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you know you got yourself assignment, so let me know if you could do it.
All right, I will definitely try.
I didn't think it took this long, did it? Just a utilities. Okay. So the last time we used the command to do this local host, now we're going to use the command for the server, for the NFS server. Show mount. Okay, so it's there. Show mount hyphen E, and then the IP address. Let's type ZMPT 01 ZMPT 01 dot NFS dot ZMPROTech.com. Okay, it's not going to work here. Can somebody tell me why it's not working? Can't even ping it to either, I think. You know why that's working? Because you have to,
DNS.
yeah, you have to make these entries into the DNS server. Okay, I'll come back to that a little later here. So you type 192.168.56.124. The port mapper failure, unable to receive it. So why is it telling us? Because we need to start the service. We need to start the NFS service. let me go back in here and run all this again here. Since we try to install, let's see if show mount is working here itself. Okay. It's active. I'm gonna just restart once, okay, just for the sake of it. Okay, I'm able to do that, and with show mount, and it's there. The port mapper unable to receive error, no route to the host. So I'm gonna start the service. So it's loaded. I'm gonna start it. It started.
What do you think, Zafar bhai, about a firewall?
It's very good. You did it. Let's see here. Disable firewall here. System CDL status. So it's active. So what I'm going to do is stop. Then I'm going to disable it too. Okay, let's see what happens here. You got a job, Ahmed. Guys, this guy will get a job. I have no doubt about this. Very good. So now the mount is showing up here. Okay. So in your work environment, firewall is mostly disabled locally. Why is it disabled? I think I explained that before. Because the firewall is managed on the network layer. On the network layer, not on the box itself. All right, very good. So we have this information here. We have export list and all this here, right? Now we're gonna mount it. So we install this, and then here, let's disable the firewall. Okay, good. So what are here? So we start NFS.
Server shouldn't it be service or NF that server is NF?
No, I mean, yeah, it's not. Yeah, it sounds different. Right? Yeah, it makes sense to be dot service, but it's not. Because NFS server is not specific to, I mean, that is not developed by one particular entity. I think there's a lot of other independent entities has done that.
Okay, because on my local machine, I checked the status with the service and it was not running and gave me the inactive status and I started.
Oh, really? If you put down dot service too?
Yep. That's what I did.
I guess, I mean, you could do it. Sometime it takes it, sometime it doesn't. Let's do it for firewall. Oh, okay, it worked too. Even for firewall, it worked without dot service.
I think if it's a daemon and if we provide the D, then it will not ask for the service.
Yeah, that is true. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna make a directory.
The way we mentioned Windows earlier, I did a quick look. Windows doesn't support NFS.
It doesn't, right?
It does not. And that's the difference between Samba and NFS, that NFX is Linux based or Unix based systems and Samba is for Windows. So NFS doesn't support by window unless it's any extra software is installed or something like that. But Windows natively doesn't support that.
Okay, that's good information.
And there's certain security management differences as well.
Okay, great. So I'm gonna make a directory. So I'm gonna make a directory mkdir slash, and then I could give any name I want. I don't have to give the same name. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is mkdir. I'm gonna just give it an NFS. I'm gonna give ch mod, and I'm gonna give read, write, and execute permission to NFS, and then I'm gonna give it recursively, so that inside if the files are created, they will have the read, write, execute permissions here. So instead of using the numbers, how do I use this here? 777.
It's that addition of those three numbers. Don't know exactly what.
No, using you could do this also.
Alphabetically too.
Yeah. User, group, and others. What you do is plus RWX.
So what if you use just the A?
Yeah, you could use A too. A, and it gives the permission to everybody else. Okay, so let's do ls-ld nfs, and it has read, write, execute permission. All right, very good. Now let's do df-h, df-h, and there is nothing in here, right? So now we're going to use the mount command. Remember our good old mount command?
Yes, I practice too much in LVM.
Yeah, so now this is going to be showing up in here as a disk, hard drive. Okay, now you could see all these things are coming together and make sense now. So you're going to be using a mount command. Mount command. It's for the system, NFS is nothing but any other drive here, any other disk. So I'm going to mount -t, and then I'm going to give it NFS and then the IP address. So IP address of the server. ZMPT 01.nfs.zmprotech.com, and then the IP address is 192.168.56.124. Okay. Yeah. Okay, good. Okay, remember this is a server and this is a client. Client host could be anything. And I think it's 111, right? IP address. Okay, and the IP address. Okay. So I'm going to use mount -t NFS, and then I'm going to give the IP address for the server 192.168.56.124 and a colon. Then I'm going to give // okay, and then the name of share, NFS_share. So you have, if your folder, whatever, wherever your folder, you have to give the exact path here. The folder could be into any other folder here. Right now I just put it in the root here so that we don't have good confusion. Okay, and I'm going to hit enter. Okay. Mountain share doesn't exist. Okay, so the information is correct. Let's see. Mount -t NFS.
Do you think, Zafar, we have to give the full path for NFS?
That's what I'm giving, right?
You just wrote it down NFS, -t NFS. So
What are you
yeah,
suggesting?
I would say /NFS. Create it in the root. I mean, you are in the home right now, so I'm not sure this NFS. Where is this NFS?
Okay, yeah, you're right. What is the directory we created?
NFS, I think.
Yeah, okay, very good. /NFS. Yeah, my bad.
And I think you are in the home, right? Let's see.
Yeah, you have to give uppercase to slash NFS. You don't have to.
Could be the other thing that you have to switch the path. The IP colon at that folder come first, and the share part at the end.
Like this?
Yeah, like that, and remove the hyphen.
Hyphen T2?
No. We're good now. Let's see. Monk. I got changed now.
Okay. Let me. Okay. Okay, it says access denied.
Then it's definitely a partition issue. Do you have to mention the root at 192 or something?
It would have given us the. Yeah, let's try that. Very good. Failed to resolve server root name on service known. Okay.
Therefore, can you use single slash instead of two slashes?
Single slash
Yeah.
right here.
Yeah. There is operation already in progress.
Access denied while mounting. It says it can't find in ETCFS tab. So let's do it in, just put it in, let's put it in ETCFS tab and see what happens.
I think it's a syntax issue, Zafar.
It's a syntax issue, right?
Yeah, like you change to one slash and it changes. On Google under Oracle, it shows the same syntax.
Can you put is it a correct syntax I'm using or wrong?
Now it seems to be correct. Maybe the switches are not appropriate.
Okay, so mount -t NFS -o options, remote directory and local directory. Okay, so and then the local directory is NFS.
I pasted the syntax from Oracle for the mount of NFS.
Yeah, this is the right syntax. It's not the hyphen T in there. I checked Google.
Okay, let's try this. Okay, mount -f and then NFS. Okay, and we're gonna have to use the remote, right? 192.168.56.124 colon, and then NFS underscore share, right? And then our NFS.
Yeah, that's correct.
Why did you use NFS twice? First is at the end.
Yeah, okay. Access denied by server. Then let's try the root here.
I think the first NFS is not the directory. Otherwise, it would have mentioned in the command.
No, yeah, the NFS, I'm either doing it in the front or in the end, right?
The first NFS, the so lowercase NFS should be there basically.
First what?
The lower NFS, which you did earlier, I understand that should be there as it is. After capital F,
This one?
lowercase without slash. I don't think so it's directory. It could be part of the syntax. Yeah.
NFS, then slash NFS, right?
Yeah, and there is no need for root at the rate something. That should be just the simple address.
Okay, let's go back in here. It says access denied, right? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do chmod -r 777 NFS share. Okay. Give me one moment here. Okay, let's go ahead and go to this file. We
But
create a
Zafar,
file name. Go ahead.
there's another thing which I read on Oracle. It says that the resource must be available on the server by using share command.
Using what command?
Share command. Share. I copied in the chat.
Okay, let me
They
take a
didn't
look.
mention how to use the share command, but you might know.
Okay, give me 1 second. I'm looking. So this looks good to me, right? Share NFS share slash 192.168.156 dot. Over here, you give the client share number. Okay, so let's see here. I think all right. Access denied. So what I have to do is I have to restart the service. Systemctl restart NFS server. Okay. What happened? It worked. Okay, so my mistake. Over here, what you have to do is you have to give the client information, not the server itself information. So via etc exports, you have to give the client information. So I think this is a security reason you have to do this. And each time you're adding a client, you have to physically add the client in here. Okay. All right. Now let's do df-h. You see the mount is, the shade is there now. It's mounted. So it's mounted to NFS here. If we create any files in here, what will happen is it will create into the NFS folder here. So I go to cd NFS, and if I create touch file, oh, okay. So it's a read-only file system. So you have to make it read, write, execute. Give me 1 second here.
I think you can give permission here as well, but if you give the permission to the mounting point, it will be applied over there as well.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It does have those permissions.
Actually, the file system isn't read-write. It's just not about that folder or a file. It was related to the file system. So I think we have to do mount and remount to that path. Yeah, this
Mount it
path.
again.
No, mount. You remember that command to mount and remount the system when the system went to the read mode, and we have to do the read-write mode, like mount -o remount, and mention the path read-write.
It's for the root drive.
Let me wrote it down the command. I think something is coming up in the mind. Read-write. The mount point was. Talking about something like this, of way. Because it's talking about the file system uh, is in read mode.
Let's try that. Mount -o read mount, and then read write, and then /NFS. Okay, looks good. Read only file system. Okay, let me try something. Umount hyphen. Okay, we have to get out of it to do that command, okay? What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna type this in here. Uh, So I have to give here read write. And restart the service. Okay. Okay. So if you do ls and the file x is there. So this is the server here. And again, these are the configurations here. In here, in this file over here, you could, I suppose it's a security feature here. I don't do this day in and day out because there is a different team with the NFS who's doing this. And so they do this on their side here. So this is how the NFS is set up here. So what I'm going to do is, let's start another server here. 6. Okay, let's start 6 and see if it's going to work. First, you have to find out the IP address of the server here, the client. So guys, the documents I have is very good, but if you ever get stuck, you put it in Google, you will get it.
So, Brother Zafar, this configuration file where we have a client address, it have as many lines as many clients we want to have access to, right? Yeah.
So that's what exactly we're going to do it here as a second. So we're going to put in 123. So I'm going to make it 123. So this should be a smooth sail here once we do it on 123. So I go 192.168.56.123 and root. I think I have to install that, but let's try show mount -e 192.168.56.123. So it's not going to work here. You still have to install install NFS utils.
Can you see if it is stopped? Can you try to start that without installing?
NFS server?
Yeah.
Service NFS server. So what you do is which NFS server. So it's not installed. So which NFS, or you could do yum provides. Oh, I typed wrong here, right?
We use system control to start the service earlier.
No, you could do, if you do like which show mount, it's telling you if it's installed. Usually that's what you look for. Which show mount. Oh, it's there.
Can we use system control to, yeah,
System what?
to start the NFS using sys control?
sysctl?
Yeah.
Yeah, but this is 6. Yeah, this is 6. Service NFS server status. Okay, so it says unrecognized. But show mount should work.
The server we were earlier on, that was 7, Brother Zafar?
Yeah.
Okay.
The server, the client and the server are 7, and we are working on 6 now.
You're missing 192.168. Yeah, IP address is, yeah.
Oh, it's working apparently. Show mount is working. Let's try to mount it and see if it's going to work. We may not have to install the services. Okay, so we could do mkdir. This time I'm going to name it share.
1/. Last time we used 1/.
No, the directory doesn't exist, NFS, so I'm going to make share. This is a different host, right? chmod -r777/share. By server while mounting it, NFS share. This is 123, and the server is 124, right? Okay, so I made the changes and I restarted the system too, so NFS share 192.123 sync. Let me start the service again. Oh, I didn't start the service here, that's why. After you make the changes, you have to restart the service. Okay, let's try it here. So it worked. So NFS share is there. And then when you go to cd/share, and you could see the files in there. It says the user is NFS nobody. I think I have no idea where it's coming from.
I think that user is in the paper file. I think I saw that user over there.
Created a user in there, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it's already there without bash shell. I think it was like no login user, I think.
right here, because this was created by the NFS. This was created by the NFS. When you install NFS, it will create that NFS server.
And it makes sense that these user doesn't need any shell, so they should not have an ability to log into the server.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So what you have to do is you have to make it permanent in the FS tab. I'm just making sure everything is there. Uh, so you do VI. So what is this? 192, 168. So how are you going to mount this? So this is the mount point. Okay. So you put this in there and then a tab, and then it's going to map to N. It's going to map to share here, right? On this one, I gave it the name share. Okay. And then here, so this is the file system. So you have to tell which kind of file system is it. It is NFS. And then you do same thing as this here. Okay, hold on. Let me copy this here. So I think I mentioned before, the good practice is to copy the line above it, okay? And then instead of proc, this is slash share, okay? And over here, it's a file system. What is the file system? NFS. Okay, and these are defaults, and these are 0 and 1. So for NFS, you have to keep 0, 0. We talked about 0 and 1 here, right? If the priority is 1, it checks this file system first, and then the other, if it's 2, then it will check the file system second. Okay, so I'm gonna do umount slash share, and I do dffnh. It's not there. And then how am I gonna do this? Mount hyphen a, and if I do dffnh, it's mounted here. So I'm gonna do umount hyphen a again. So I'm going to restart the system here. The purpose to put it in FS tab is to make sure it's in the system when the system reboots. Okay, so you guys got the idea, right? Enter as many as possible, as needed. Okay, the system is rebooted. I'm going to reconnect. It's like any other drive, it's mounted here. Okay. In reality, you would have about 15 to 20 in there. You would have about 15 to 20 in there, so many drives in there. So you would get from time to time, okay, people will say there's going to be an NFS issue, it's not working. So you log in and you check it yourself. And this, when this gets full, this is not your problem here. So what you do is you send it to the team that you will get the ticket, and then you put the output in the ticket and send it to the network team and tell them that increase the size here or whatever your local process is.
And Zafar, earlier I said it Windows doesn't support. Just quick clarification: Windows doesn't support as server. I looked at that. It does support as a client, and the process is same as we did in Samba, that we have to enable that feature in the control panel and go to Windows program and enable that.
Like this here, go in here, right?
Yeah,
Turn the features on.
yeah. There'll be one line for Windows NFS for sure.
Service for NFS.
Yeah, yeah. Turn both. Yes.
Okay, so here's the output. And okay, and reboot to test it out. So you don't need all this. Okay, all looks good to me. And I think we are out of time. So this is all there to it, okay? Let me quit this and okay, so from tomorrow we're gonna start scripting. Let me see if I need to cover anything else.
Well, Zafar, can we use 2 more minutes to, you have already started on Windows.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So we need to just run one mount command on DOS prompt.
Here or from the command line?
No, from Windows, in Windows. We need to mount that.
Using the command, or you could just use it the.
Windows DOS. Is it your DOS command? Yeah.
I thought you could do it from here, right?
No, you have to open the DOS prompt or any command line.
You can do it here.
Yeah, wherever we, yeah.
Okay, so let's do this way because it's graph. But I think we have to enable in here. I have too many things in here. Virtual. I okay, let's see, ping it. Okay, yeah. It's pinging, so it's good. So in here you could do a YY copy, and all you have to do is 192.168.15.190. Oh, 15.195. Okay. Looks good, right?
Yeah.
And restart the service. Okay. So we're gonna use this format to map it.
No, but we need to map on the Windows, and I copy the command in our WebEx chat.
Not this?
No, not this. Not this. It's cancel. Open that from Windows. Open the DOS prompt. Yeah,
Okay.
and type mount -o space A none, A-N-O-N none. No, one word, A-N-O-N without E, no E. Space, then our backslash, the complete share name. Backslash, not forward slash. Windows syntax backslash, yeah. Mount hyphen O, A-N-O-N, space, and then towards the end, space, X or A colon something, whatever drive letter we want to mount, space. You can call it X for now. Yeah, X is
X is
have it.
available, so just like that.
You can see, yeah, but X was already occupied. I see that in your PC.
Okay, let's do P.
Yeah,
Enter,
P colon.
like that.
Yeah.
That
Doesn't drive letter has to be capital?
yeah.
There is an extra colon right there after 124.
Oh yes.
Remove that.
Yeah, after 124. Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Let's try doing this way here first. And I think this should work. Do I need to restart the system since I enabled the service?
That you did, I think.
Okay, yeah, it's
Okay.
browsing.
Yeah. Okay, very good. Thank you, Zafar.
Sure. So it might take a few minutes. Okay, whatever, it's gonna work sooner or later. But so this is how the NFS works here. So, but also when you're working with the NFS, if it's like some kind of storage like NAS, what you could do is they will give you the link here, and it will show in here as a. It will show you when you do LSBLK. When you do LSBLK, it will show in here as a hard drive, and then you could run a LVM on it. But unfortunately, I'm not able to do the demo here because those are either those are EMC or pure storage or whatever they are. Let's see here.
So first of all, after mounting, it will show as it's.
Yeah. Okay. It will. Yeah. I mean, you see web. Pure storage is by Pure Storage. I've seen Pure Storage is doing here. So you run the multipath command, multipath-ll, and it will have like a long number. It will show in there. What I'll do is I'll find the video and then put it in there. iSCSI is for Windows, I think. Windows use a lot of iSCSI, right? So what it will do is when you do DFFNH, it will literally have like assigned SD, E or whatever, and then it will have like a long here. Okay, hold on. Let me see if I could find the picture. Okay, I think we are out of time here. If I find something, I'll put it in the notes. If not, it's okay for now because we have learned enough. But once what will happen is it will show up in here as a additional drive, and then you could run the LVM commands on it. Okay. All right. So once the video is ready, I will upload it. Okay. Have a good day.
Jazakallah, Zafar. Assalamu alaikum.
Jazakallah, Zafar bhai. Thank you.